one of the things you had was you had this report and it could show you like who are the domain experts within the organization based on who works on what like type of code. And I thought that
Mhm.
was amazing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, yeah, that's I totally agree that it's sort of a very common and maybe underappreciated aspect of what a good CTO does. Is they identify, or VP of engineering as well. They identify who is already good at different aspects of contribution within their repository. So it's really common in the teams that I've been a part of that you'll have somebody that's really expert in, say, the libraries or the sort of the underlying platform like Ruby on Rails. You'll have another person that's really great at models. You'll have another person that's really great at sort of background jobs and asynchronous execution and making sure that stays performant. And then you kind of go further and further up the stack till you have people that are expert in HTML and people that are experts in JavaScript. And obviously there's going to be overlap because a lot of people are working in different domains, but I think that especially if you're a project manager and you're trying to understand who do I go to with my questions, or who do I send this ticket to that's a really difficult ticket in a domain that's going to require somebody that really knows, the ins and outs of React, for instance. And those are really hard questions to get answers to unless you sort of methodically observed a team over the course of several years, in which case you can eventually like develop an intuition for that. But again, like we're trying to build tools that create leverage. We don't want people to have to wait years before they can really intuitively understand what where the people on their team are experts. And so what we do with this report that you're talking about is we take the line impact, which is our metric for how much the code base is evolving from commit to commit, and we are able to basically analyze that in all the different dimensions and all the different types of code that we already recognize just out of the box with GitClear. So pretty much all the kinds of code I've offhandedly used as examples: Ruby on Rails, models, jobs, JavaScript. All these are code categories that GitClear already recognizes. And so when a developer is just doing their job, when they're just making commits that happen to that involve all these different types of files, we first of all know how much experience they have with it, because we can see that they've authored more code than anybody else over the last year in, for instance, React. But then we can also get a sense for their velocity.